be interested to see how I made this gold melted edged bangle. Check it out. Okay, I've got 60 grams of 9 carat in my ceramic melting dish, and I'm going to be pouring into the wide part of my ingot mould to make this bangle. So it's going to take quite a bit to melt, so here we go. Too bad of a melt, just a little ball left over, but that should roll through my flat rolls okay. So I'll just let that cool, then I'll quench it and pickle it. And before I roll this ingot, I'm going to hammer the sides and just hammer it all over and then anneal it again. Okay, I've done the calculations. The internal diameter of the bangle's got to be 67 millimeters, so I need to make this 210 mil long. So I've opened my rolls up and I'll make a start. It's also around about 5.5 to 6 mil thick at this point here. A little bit thinner here, it's just the way it was poured, but I'm quite confident I'll get a decent thickness out of this once I get to the 210 mil length. Probably ready for annealing again, so I'll do that. We've got a thickness of just over 4 mil now. Okay, it's 1.2 mil thick, and it is from end to end 27 centimeters. So I obviously need to chop off at the widest point here, and I need some metal for the fusing of the pattern later on. So I've got plenty of metal there, and width-wise we've got, it looks like 17 mil. So I'll just square off the end. Large pair of half-ounce pliers there. Well, here they go. And just grab the end and just start pulling it around. So obviously I have annealed it. And try and keep the curve nice and consistent. And I'll solder it and form the bangle, and if anything it might be just a little bit oversized, which is so much easier to cut the piece out than together, and I'll just flux it and set it up for soldering. I'm actually going to fuse the joint rather than solder it, so I'm just cleaning up some yellow gold round wire, and I'll use this for the fuse. So this fusing wire is 0.9 of a mil thick. Just give it a really good fluxing. Being 9 carats, it's a little bit more tricky to fuse than 18 carat because of the copper content. And I'll be pretty generous with the flooding the joint with the wire as well. So I'll file off what I don't need. So we get it just before melting temperature, and then the thinner component, being the wire, will melt sooner. So I use oxidizing flame. Okay, I've got a good melt on the top surface. Just want to make sure I've got the inside looking okay. Just make sure the melt goes through. The bangle flat and tidy it up, get rid of any tool marks, clean up the inside. I want to have it pretty much ready for polishing before I start putting the design on there, so I'll clean up the inside as well and go through the emery stages. So I've polished the bangle and it's looking pretty good now, so what I'll do is I'll start to do the fused edges of the bangle, and to do that I need to have it perfectly clean, so I'll do one side at a time. I will paint on the flux where I've just filed, and making sure I get it on the edge as well. So we're using the very tip, the very point of the flame, and this will help us to mould the metal down over the front or the top of the bangle. And there we go, so we can start moving it around now. So if you try and use just the fluffy part of the flame, you won't get anywhere. In some parts it can dip down a little bit lower, which makes it look more interesting. You can get a real good wave going on. Yeah, it's going better than I thought. So I have worked on 9 carat bangles before, and it's been very difficult to get this kind of reaction. So I am pretty impressed with the quality of the metal, and I have to say, if you're going to do this with sterling silver, you're going to find it difficult again because of the copper and the way that the silver oxidizes, so you might have to pickle part way and clean up and then continue. And if you're working on 18 karat yellow gold, you're going to find it so much easier. Go over it and make sure I've fused. Now I've made a bigger one there. So it's just the metal bubbling. When you melt metal, it goes through a bubbling stage, so you just got to try and just wet the metal over any holes. There we go, so that's another one that was formed there. I can see one there, so I'll just get rid of that. There we go. Okay, I've prepared the other side, and I didn't actually need that wire that I prepared. although I will need it for the next stage. So again, just creating a nice wavy pattern and making sure where some places are dipped. I don't dip at that point, I'll just come away from that point and get the wave going the opposite. So there's a wave there, and I'll just put one here. I'll just mark out with this text of what I think will work. So it's going to be a little bit ziggy-zaggy. And of course, once I start the fusing, it might take on a slightly different shape. But again, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy like the edges. I'll continue around. Now I'll go over these lines with my ball bear, and this will hold the flux in place and make it a little bit easier for the metal to find its way. Start up with painting the flux over the burring. It's going to be tricky because I have to keep moving the bangle around so that I can work on the area that I'm facing. So we need to get the temperature up to just before melting, so get it up to red hot. The wire is going to start melting first, obviously being a smaller component, and it should sort of take on a little bit of a wavy wobble, and then you can break it off as it gets to the edge. We just need to take it up to the fusing stage without melting the surface of the bangle. Random shape. If you push it in, I'll pull it out, it will fatten up and thin out in areas as well. So the main thing is you've got to get it to fuse on the edges, and then as long as it's not broken away in the middle there, that will just stay in place. Just missed it there, that's where my pattern is there, so I'll just bring the wire over. There we go. I like what's going on there. It's a nice big lump there. I'll get another lump there, and yep, that looks pretty good. I've got some more wire prepared here, so it's best to work with shorter lengths as you need to, and I'll just move the wire, the spring-loaded tweezers along the wire so that it's easier to control. I'll put this one here at this point, and as I press it will just naturally bend, so I'll just try and fuse it to the other one. There we go. And I can just see the now you've probably figured out for yourself now that this technique is impossible to do if you haven't got a gas and air torch like this little torch that I use. Gonna just put a little bit more on there, and that's it. Okay, I've joined the pattern up. What I will do now is just put some big blobs in here and there, just as fillers, and also to make it look. It looks still looks a bit messed up, but I'll give it a bit of a clean up. Just file off any sharp bits, any bits that need a little bit of shaping, and then I'll start applying the texture. Okay, to do the texturing, I'm using it's a small heartburst, so I'm going to get a quite interesting texture out of this if I rotate it in a circular fashion. So I'll try and do, I'll try and mix it up, so this will be polished, this will be textured, polished, textured, and so on, all the way around. High points that are going to be polished, I'll prepare them for polishing. I'll then put it in the tumbler for a while and give it a polish with my polishing motor, and that's pretty much it then. When I say that's pretty much it, it's going to be a long process getting it up to the polishing stage. There's a few blemishes in the polished parts that I need to get rid of. Weight of this bangle now is 50 grams. Hope you enjoyed.